What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Loki. His name is SunTzu. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is GrandMonster. The map is Tundra. It's currently 1-1 in this best of 3 Champions League Season 2 tournament game. So, exciting times. Exciting times to be had. By all. Every single one of you guys. Exciting times. We've got a Thor versus Loki. No. We've got an Odin versus Loki. A very interesting decision by GrandMonster going with Odin against SunTzu, who is definitely the Loki player. He had a lot of success in game number 1 with Ra, but he's decided to step away from Ra in game number 3, knowing it's Tundra. Very similar map, to be honest, to that the unknown map. But maybe GrandMonster was just like, I'm gonna stick away from the Odin on the land unknown. It's a little bit unknown. But yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen here. We'll see if anything good happens in this game, or if it's going to be a complete stomp or not. Loki against Odin. Loki wants to get damage done early. So Loki's going to come in, going to spy the food villages, attempt to get some damage done there. If you're playing Odin here, the best bet is to move forward onto these caribou and leave your caribou at home alive for the early game. You don't want to be fighting if otherwise. You want to be getting to Skadi. If you can get to Skadi, that gives you time to then get to Ragnarok. If you get to Ragnarok, that gives you the victory in this matchup, generally speaking. Now, GrandMonster has an exposed gold mine. I would maybe not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if SunTzu spotted this. I don't know. Let's check it out. He has spotted it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if SunTzu goes for a Heimdall here. He's really... Oh, I don't know if he's actually any good with Heimdall or not. But Soup here... Soup was a player, just as an aside, who was playing all the aggressive variants of Loki and Odin, picking up Heimdall wherever he had the chance and having tons of success with it. SunTzu, on the other hand, definitely more of a Forseti style player. And he's maybe going to see that this gold mine's in the front of the base and try and hit it a couple of times without undermine the towers very hard. You can utilize undermine to hit this watchtower, or sorry, this sentry tower and this sentry tower if you angle it correctly. Now, when you click undermine, what happens is the sort of UI thing that shows up starts moving around. So if you line up the two green dots on one of these towers and the other tower as well, the undermine will hit this and go and then kill the other one as well. So that's the general gist here. There's GrandMonster's Freya, and we've got SunTzu's Forseti. Relics on the map are the Toothed Arrows, giving you the plus 5% Archer and Ballista and Kara Ballista pierce damage. Not the best relic in the Norse War. And we did mention Pygmalion's statue here, the extra 40% villager hit points. Absolutely huge for GrandMonster to grab that one. We'll see if he goes there immediately. The Raven will spot the relic, and surely he goes and grabs that one. That's going to allow his villagers to live for much longer time here. We'll see how that's going to go. We've got the walls already coming up for GrandMonster, throwing up his house. Getting ready for this game. Ursa going to be searching for something here. The food situation for GrandMonster is so good that early Ursa not going to do much damage at all. And I love this by GrandMonster. This is something that players have started doing a lot more, and they need to keep it. This is essentially huge against Loki and against other civs as well. Wall segments around the forward towers, the unsafe towers, because they give 0 favor bounty. 0 favor bounty. So there's no point really in the Ursa attacking, or at least you want the Ursa to attack it. We do see the GrandMonster on Grim, unsightly leg. He's got an unsightly leg, maybe because he's been whacked by the hammer of I can't say this. This is here. Flower Singer. But he has grabbed the Pygmalion statue. So huge for him. Just about to finish up on the Caribou. Throwing up this Longhouse as well. Got the Ulfsarks popping out, as well as potentially some more Hersa. Not sure. You have to be careful not to throw these guys away. We do have the Troll coming in. And the Valkyrie looking for some raids over here. Surely, once the house comes up, the Hersa comes over and defends this, maybe. We are seeing the Hersa retreating away. This one is running forward. The Valkyrie maybe going to get our Forest Fire here and potentially kill a villager. We don't see GrandMonster doing it just yet. There's the Forest Fire. The villagers moving forward. No villagers killed yet, but they're all... Oh, he's lost one. He's lost two villagers. That's absolutely huge for GrandMonster. He's probably going to get 3 villagers here as SunTzu does not pay attention to that Valkyrie there. The villagers running over onto this wood line. And he's going after a 3rd villager. He's not going to be able to get it. The Hersa coming in to hit this one. Hall of Thanes is on the way for SunTzu though. So it's huge for GrandMonster, but not that big of a deal for SunTzu. Just means he's got more population to play with, right? Right? More population to play with. And it's games like this that are the reason why Norse players use their Forest Fire early. Because of that 1 in 100 game, you get 2 or more villager kills. And it feels great when you get it, but that's such a risk, and you're super, super lucky that those villagers did not automatically just flee. They decided to finish the wood first. We see more houses going on. The Hersa running around doing their thing. This Valkyrie looking for some more value, but not going to really find too much. We do see the villagers moving up into the Caribou. He's got this entire space in the back now that he can run through. Feels good. The wooden walls going up for GrandMonster. Got these throwing axemen are trying to be built for GrandMonster, but he's got no wood income basically. Only 4 villagers here. Still pumping villagers over onto the goat. Maybe needs to throw down an armory. Odin, unlike Thor in this matchup, Odin is going to have to fight for a second gold mine. That's a big disadvantage that Odin has over Thor in this matchup, because Thor can hold on to his gold mine and then throw it down either in the, well, probably in the heroic age if you can, and then you don't need to leave your base at all, and you can get to the mythic age for a 1-town center Balder. On a map like this, probably can get a gold stuff. There's a really nice gold mine for SunTzu, but we'll see what happens here. Trying to spam out more Hersa, get going with them. There's really nowhere for GrandMonster to get attacked here, or nowhere for SunTzu to attack GrandMonster at all. He's got all of these 9 goat here, plus the 3 on the ground. Villagers over here doing their thing. Now we see some attempted raids over here with a wall has come up, and these Ulfsark sort of want to get in here. Does he have Lone Wanderer? He doesn't. He's just going after the Skraeling. Skraeling can jump into the tower here. The Hersa coming in though. Skraeling going to live for the time being. Ulfsark decide not to turn around here. There is a healing spring here for SunTzu to sit on. Now these Ulfsark are going down. Very, very nice micro from SunTzu to get in and path block there. In an attempt to get in front of these Ulfsark. We'll see how he goes now. Getting in front again. Maybe going to throw down a ghost building or something. We do see that the village is now in the middle of the map on this hunt. He's got a lot of throwing axemen here. I don't think Hersa can come in and win this fight. With Hall of Thanes, sorry. Don't think this is going to work. He's trying to build more houses. He's actually got a lot of Hersa. 15 Hersa plus the troll. 10 plus 8. This is close, to be honest. If you can get a surround on this army comp, especially get onto the throwing axemen and get the troll involved without losing that, you potentially win this. You are seeing the Longhouse getting attacked here. Oh, I love this from SunTzu. GrandMonster's going to completely overreact to this raid. And the Hersa are going to be distracting these units, running away and hitting the front here. Absolutely beautiful. And GrandMonster does spot it, does have some units in here, but we do have an Einhjar. Going to be using that one? No, he should probably run with these units, but he's continuing to come in here. Oh, he's staying in here. He's going to be losing a lot of these Hersa if he stays, and that's really, really good for GrandMonster. The Einhjar going down in the back. the troll going down, as well as these Hursa are going to snipe one Hursa before getting out, but that's 2 myth units plus a Hursa for one Hursa and a small amount of idle villager time. And we're seeing 105 pop for GrandMonster to 79 pop for SunTzu. GrandMonster in a very, very good position. Now the armory coming up for SunTzu. We've got villagers over on this elk here as well. We'll see if GrandMonster is smart enough to find that location. One house does go down. The Hursa looking to try and get a surround on these Ulfsark, but the throwing axemen are here. One Hursa does fall. SunTzu going to be retreating away from this, and we've got medium infantry in. Another house going to be going down. And I don't think that SunTzu even can get to the Mythic Age faster than GrandMonster can at this point. We just see a beautiful raid here from SunTzu, hitting the straggler units. This is what SunTzu does absolutely best here. These units trying to push in to SunTzu's base, but he's just not going to allow that. He's going after straggler units. He's going after the raids, taking down the Oxcart. GrandMonster very, very close to the Heroic Age. Almost out of gold in this base, but maybe enough. No, he's going to have to leave. The Hursa still falling. Maybe fought that fight for just a little bit too long. These units in the front here are going to be retreating, but they could turn around and take down these Hursa in the front here. The Hursa turning around, fighting some more over here. They're just not getting myth unit spawns. Oh, the micro just not working out for him. SunTzu running the wrong way with his Hursa, and GrandMonster cuts that off. He must have clicked over here, shift clicked around, and it just not worked or something. We do see Watchtowers has come up, and GrandMonster can very happily move over to a gold mine. We see the Hursa moving there immediately, but he's getting chased on this location here. We've still got more Hursa getting built out for SunTzu. Another unit or two falling over here. The Hursa maybe going to snipe. Also, nice micro from GrandMonster to pull them back. We're going to have to see these Hursa make the great escape. And he does see the dwarves on this location, so that's going to be very big key for SunTzu to be hitting that location. But look at GrandMonster's food here. Full population. Does he have copper mail? Doesn't have copper mail yet, but that's something you can invest in a little bit later. Another house going down for SunTzu. He needs to rebuild all those houses. And this is looking very grim for SunTzu. Copper weapons coming through for SunTzu as he's trying to spend his resources because he knows he's probably not getting to the Heroic Age anytime soon here. Village is almost out of hunt as well. And honestly, SunTzu trying to pump out as many Hursa as he can. But I don't think there's a point in which he wins this fight unless his Hursa are a Heroic Age. Once they hit Heroic Age, they become much, much stronger. We see more walls coming up for GrandMonster. Love that, because that's going to really hurt the multi-raids of SunTzu when he's attacking one location and then he can only get a wall attack. That's not going to be it at all. But now we've got Skadi coming through for GrandMonster, and SunTzu is pushing out again. Not enough resources to get to the next stage. Still pumping her. So 95 of 105 population. There's the 115 population. The army is out here for GrandMonster. The Hursa trying to run around this location here. The Ulfsark throwing these walls down. He does manage to get them down in time. And the Hursa, basically the only way to engage this is to split your Hursa up and go around one side of the army, hit from both sides, and hope you get some Einhyar spawns. That will turn the tides. Otherwise, it's not going to work. We do see Copper Mail is coming through for GrandMonster. Really, really smart. You can also immediately throw down the market, go for Balder, and finish this game with a beautiful, beautiful Ragnarok. But Skadi is the first thing, and it is looking like we're seeing an immediate town center here for SunTzu. Going after the houses now. He should be able to kill off a couple of these. The Frost Giant is here. We see the Hursa jumping after that immediately. Got to be careful not to get too stuck in this location. Meanwhile, we've got the villagers in the middle of the map for SunTzu grabbing that hunt. Just absolutely getting all of it here. We see the Ulfsark maybe looking to get this town center, but really SunTzu should be trying to get to the next age. He's so close. He needs to stop building these villages and get to the Heroic Age. That way at least he's going to have flaming weapons. But or at least the threat of flaming weapons. And there we go. There's the Balder coming in for SunTzu. We see this town center just about to get up. GrandMonster not going to be able to deny it. He's not even going to attempt to, or SunTzu not going to be able to deny it, I should say. GrandMonster gets it up. We see a market coming up in this spot here. So GrandMonster obviously showing SunTzu what's coming for him. So he's still going to have to figure out a way to get back into this game. This town center going up very, very slowly for SunTzu as the GrandMonster economy, the GrandMonster powertrain here, still able to just chuck along. And Bragi will help out, but not really in the flame weapons, just in the Hearse HP. But SunTzu is deciding to turn around and take this fight, but it's not a great fight at all. We see heavy infantry is in for GrandMonster, and nothing here for SunTzu. He's just losing Hearse left, right, and center. GrandMonster still pumping out units, getting all the villagers going. Doesn't have any farms up just yet, but he's going to be able to eat more of this hunt in the side of the map, or just chuck a bunch of villagers over to gold, buy his way up to the next age is a complete option there if he wants to try that. Villagers here have finished. You can move over onto this elk here if he wants. Keep trying to do that. Meanwhile, sitting in his base, and we see another longhouse coming up for GrandMonster, as he is almost out of food. He's got so much food on this pathway up here to the Orok. We'll see if he's going to do that. Town center on the way for SunTzu. Villagers over here looking for some hunt. He has found the elk. Wonder what else is in this corner. And there's always 2 Orok in these corners here. You can always count on those. Meanwhile, we see GrandMonster going up to 3 town center. When you're ahead, get more ahead. Why not? Why not? Throwing Axeman coming in from both sides here, trying to sandwich SunTzu's units, and he might get one of them here. Yeah, it's getting a little bit jacked up, but he does manage to pull out of here. Got 2 of these Battle Boar out so far. Still trying to pump them out, even though the Frost Giants are going to be there to counter them, essentially. We'll see how this fight's going to go. Well, what SunTzu's plan is, he is getting irrigation. And GrandMonster still not in the Mythic Age just yet. So giving SunTzu a little bit of breathing room here. Ox car moving on to this gold mine. Not going to be allowed. See the Hearse running around the back here. Is this GrandMonster noticing that these are dead? Nope. He's not going. Maybe he was going for a market in the corner. SunTzu going to throw up his own market in the corner, though. We see the Hearse coming in onto this location, taking down the town center of GrandMonster. But look, GrandMonster is awfully close to the next stage. Meanwhile, taking down this wooden wall. SunTzu hitting 2 different points here. He does manage, or he will be managing, to take down this town center as GrandMonster's coming in to sandwich on the back. We see the town center going down. We see the dwarves making a run for it. Balder on the way now for GrandMonster. And SunTzu has got watchtowers, but really no real answer to the Rag Heroes. We've got 43 villagers for GrandMonster, still able to keep pumping those out. Nice raids coming in. For SunTzu, he does manage to break through this wooden wall here. Maybe it would have been worth it to invest in stone walls. He could have come in and protected this, but do see SunTzu sniping an old Sark before coming up onto this location. Going to try and hit those there. We see the Hearse looking for more villagers that are around and about. And these villagers look like, ooh, not going for them, but the dwarves over here, the Hearse are coming in. And yet again, the sandwich might come through. The Hearse are going to do a lot of damage to these dwarves. 57%, 60% Balder. Good damage by SunTzu. The throwing Axeman coming in, going to be pushing these units back. One of those ox carts does die, but there are 2 ox carts here. Meanwhile, we see the throwing Axeman coming in over onto this location, hitting these Hearse on the back. Going to be doing a lot of damage to SunTzu, and SunTzu's getting bronze mail, fortified town centers, pumping out the units. Only 3 military buildings. The Heroes of Ragnarok are going to do so much damage. We do see the Aurochs over in this corner for his units here. The Hearse coming in, going to attempt to take down these throwing axemen here. We still don't see Huntress Axe for the throwing axemen. Meanwhile, we've got this town center getting targeted. There's the Balder for GrandMonster. Does he just instantly click it? Is it going to work, though? That's the question. Fire Giant out for GrandMonster. He has not instantly clicked. They're going to attempt to get this town center up first. We see the Battle Ball getting sniped down. The Valkyrie chasing these units around. The Hearse are going to sit on this town center, keep chasing these throwing action around as the Battle Ball does a ton of damage. GrandMonster casting Ragnarok, going up to 218 population. Maybe SunTzu can hold this with a ton more longhouses and a bunch of walls and throwing axemen. Maybe he can. Gets a mountain giant spawn though. That's going to help out a ton. He could retreat this one down to the corner and get a home base raid with that one while this is all going on. The army of SunTzu coming, of GrandMonster coming in to sandwich or surround SunTzu here. He's running in with his Heroes of Ragnarok, hitting the Battle Ball here. You cannot be building Battle Ball anymore. They're not going to be working. We're seeing the units attempting to run away for SunTzu. He's going to attempt to distract for as long as possible. We see GrandMonster attempting to deny this retreat, but where is SunTzu dragging this army is the question. We've got some towers coming up, a longhouse coming up. Do we have masons? We have masons, no architects. SunTzu simply just going to be running around with these units and trying to distract as best as he possibly can. It may be time, now that half of these units have run away, to turn around. We've got 16 units here, 9 her, so he could just attack the Heroes of Ragnarok, get the Battle Ball to come in and kill off some houses or something. We see the units pushing in here, throwing axemen, trying to come out. Medium infantry coming through. The units getting pushed back, but SunTzu out of gold for the time being. We'll see where he's going to go to try and gather one. He's going to lose this town center. He's got a gold mine over here that he can go to. He's got a gold mine he could sneak over here. He cannot grab this gold mine, but we'll see which one he wants to go to in this game. He's still running away around with these Hersa and the Battle Ball, looking for something to do here. The Watchtower is hitting GrandMonster's units here. This is still an incredibly close game here between these two players. The Dwarves will attempt to get onto this gold mine. He can use the market if he has one. He doesn't have a market to trade, so he can't trade here. He does decide to turn around and take a small fight here before retreating away. Wonder if he can try and snipe down that town center with this army while the Heroes of Ragnarok looking for something else to do. Maybe throw up some more towers in his base just to make sure he doesn't lose these farms. They're absolutely vital here. Meanwhile, the Rag Hero is going to be looking for a gold mine. And I think SunTzu has not been risky enough here. He needed to make a run for it around to this gold mine, because the Heroes of Ragnarok are going to be spotting this. And no gold is going to be huge. But we do see the market getting taken down. That's huge. That's no trade route. There's no market set up. We see the market in the corner here going down, but a throwing axeman coming in to maybe thwart this. GrandMonster does spot it. The Dwarves do make a run for it, though. These Rag Heroes are not going to see this. This is huge. He's going to make a run for it into the corner of the map. GrandMonster might expect the villagers to have made a walk back into the home base. And it's looking as if the units are on the warpath. What does GrandMonster see here? He sees nothing just yet. The villagers stop and he sees them. He's found all of the dwarves of SunTzu. This is absolutely huge for GrandMonster. These dwarves are all going to be falling. Rag Heroes can come in and hit this. And now SunTzu is gold staffed. And there's still 167 of these Rag Heroes remaining. We see the town center coming back up for SunTzu as he's going to attempt to defend here. He still hasn't got the market, but he can trade. Well, he had a market, but it's gone now. He hasn't got a safe market, so he can trade. Maybe a market here, go into his hometown center, get some ox caravans out, sell for wood. You've got a decent selling opportunity here. 71 food 71 gold per 100 food, 57 wood per 100 gold. SunTzu definitely still in this game. We'll see if he can make it happen. There's the market as well. Love that for SunTzu. We got more longhouses coming up. Maybe some watchtowers here wouldn't have been a bad idea, but he doesn't have the gold for it just yet. So get the market up, then build the watchtowers around here. We see these Hersos still distracting over here. But Frost Giant may be able to come in and does hit that Valkyrie. That's got to be nice there for GrandMonster, as he is looking as if he is getting everything he wants here. But he doesn't have the best of repopulation here. If SunTzu can simply just hold on here, he may be okay. He may be okay. He just needs to win a couple of fights against this army of GrandMonster. We see him pushing in onto this location. SunTzu at 105 population to 164. The watchtowers do tons of damage. The architects is coming in. We're going to see GrandMonster eyeing off this town center here as the villagers getting built here. GrandMonster almost at the population that he can start building dwarves, but he can only build 2 dwarves. He should consider selling all of that wood and buying some food to build those gatherers, but he's got no farms up. This Ragnarok is so very, very all in, and the throwing axeman here to defend, sitting behind this, is absolutely huge. The Frost Giant over here going to be doing some help, but a lot of units going to be falling, and we do have the flaming weapons coming in for SunTzu, and then the Frost comes in. We've got some units in the back still alive, though, for SunTzu. Going to take down the throwing axeman. In the back, we're going to see GrandMonster turning around onto these throwing axemen. SunTzu should retreat away from this. He has to retreat away from this. He's not. He's taking the fight, and he's letting the units kill him here. He's finally decided to retreat. Looks like the town center, the next thing to go down. He's got 5 of these throwing axemen in the town center. He's going to be bringing them out in order to start sniping some more of these heroes of Ragnarok. Nice micro from GrandMonster in order to come in here. We'll see if SunTzu can do some beautiful garrison micro here. We see a ton of these heroes of Ragnaroks going down super fast as these throwing axemen just do so much damage. This town center stays alive for ages. Frost Giant coming back in. GrandMonster 100 and population left. This town center is not going down. The villagers popping out. We've still got resources to sell for SunTzu as he can continue in this game. These units over here getting pushed back, and it's looking as if SunTzu has done the impossible and held the Ragnarok here. He needs to think about going for his gold mine, which he actually still had gold in his base. He's been mining from this gold mine in his base, even though it's a very little amount. He has been mining. We do see a couple of villagers sneaking their way over onto this large gold mine. The market in the corner for SunTzu as well. Going to probably attempt to do that as well, as more villagers sneaking into the corner to get that large gold mine. We've got some more of these heroes of Ragnarok searching around for gold for SunTzu, but SunTzu at 55 villagers right now to GrandMonster's 5. 119 population. SunTzu has to know how all in GrandMonster was, and he needs to continue here to prevent GrandMonster from getting that trade started. And actually, GrandMonster doesn't have a market here, so he can't even buy food, even if he wanted to. He can't even buy it because SunTzu sniped it. Absolutely huge. Nice micro here from SunTzu and GrandMonster to freeze both of those Frost Giants. Do we have any good upgrades? We do not. SunTzu's got the better upgrades here. Going to be sniping all these units. We see some nice micro from GrandMonster, but the army is too big for SunTzu. He's got too many units here pushing through. Going to be attempting to snipe that Frost Giant. He needs to retreat now. The Frost Giant's back out. This army will not beat GrandMonsters just yet, as he needs to continue building these units here. Again, you can sell those resources for whatever he wants, but the villagers are trying to sneak up to the Aurochs over here, and it's looking as if he's going to have to retreat back. And SunTzu is happily getting some gold in that position. Ooh, some throwing axemen coming in, trying to get antsy. Does get some damage dealt. We've got a longhouse over here getting spotted as the throwing axemen coming through. I've got 11 villagers for GrandMonster. He has started those dwarves, and honestly, if he could get out a couple of fire giants here, this could be a big deal. We do see that the Herser coming in, going to try and snipe down this Frost Giant as best as they can, and they do get very, very close. No real micro from SunTzu on this other Herser that's getting tanked or was getting completely spiked down. See those throwing axemen going down, more Herser coming in, and the army for GrandMonster has been cleaned up as SunTzu claims this middle gold mine with 11 of those villagers, and GrandMonster tabs out. The curse has been lifted. SunTzu wins his first full series in Champions League, taking down GrandMonster, winning 2-1. We thought that this game was going to be GrandMonster's there in that Ragnarok, but SunTzu's defense too good. Being able to sneak this town center back up was so huge because that allows SunTzu to keep the villager production going. Even though GrandMonster had got the gold staff, he couldn't finish the game off. He didn't have a trade route started. He didn't have any farm set up to make the population of the Norse army work. And SunTzu managed to hold that. Incredibly well played. GG. If you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did, because this was an awesome game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.